Dot. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our team call tonight. We have some fun planned for you, and hopefully we'll bring some value to you to help you feel empowered and encouraged as you're navigating your coaching business. And I want to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, or raise your hand if you've ever had an objection that just kind of took the wind out of your sails, or you were like doing it, you were on it, and you got an objection, you're like, oh, you felt it deep in your core and you were so excited. Well, we want to help you kind of be able to emotionally detach from that whole situation and to be able to navigate the conversations in your business with courage and bravery and excitement, and to look at those no's and those obstacles as an opportunity to learn and grow. And I kind of want to share some, so I'm going to start the call out. There's really not many announcements except for next week. Our call time is moved by 1 hour. It's going to be 1 hour earlier. So just make note of that. We'll make sure to mark that in our groups and stuff, but it will be 1 hour earlier next week. So just put that on your calendar as well. And as we go throughout tonight, just drop in the chat any questions that you have, objections that you're getting. We had a ton, like I have a whole notebook page full of objections that you guys are receiving from our Strive to Shine group. So we're going to go through those. But I want to share a little story. As some of you may or may not know, I've been in coaching for a couple of years, about 3.5 years. And so I'm not new to this business. And so I want to share with you, you hear a lot about consistency, right? As a coach, you hear a lot about stay consistent to the vitals. It's kind of beaten in our heads that this is so important. But what we don't hear is what the payoff is on the other side in tangible ways. And so I want to share with you, a lot of times we see high success club numbers. Raise your hand if you see somebody with a high success club number and you instantly think, how on earth do they do it? Anybody ever felt that way? Okay. So what you don't see most likely is that person that's hitting those high success club numbers have invested months, hours, years of their time to then reap the benefit of those high success club numbers. And I'm someone who is that person. So recruiting with Success Club is not something that I struggle with now. As a new coach, that first year of my business, every single month was an uphill battle. Every high was down to the wire. I felt like every month I was pulling people out of my butt to try to get Success Club locked in. And so that first month, I spent a lot of time hearing no's. I spent a lot of time hearing objections. But over time, I started to see that compound effect. And I want to share with you a clear vision of what that looks like down the road in your business. So all of those objections that you're seeing right now in your business, all of those no's that you're getting are your seeds that you are planting for 1 year from now, for 2 years from now. And so for me, I currently am at over, I think I'm at a Success Club 22 right now. That's super low for me. I usually hit a lot higher than that. So this month has been a struggle. Anybody felt like everyone has said no to you this month that you have talked to? So I want to go through each of those challenge packs, and I'm going to share with you the path that it took to get to the point where they said yes. Would that be helpful? Anybody excited about that? Hopefully. Okay, so the first person that I signed up, she had followed me since I went back through every conversation. She followed me since 2016. Okay, so that was 3 years ago. She started following me. She was at that time working with another coach. She canceled her account. She'd been inactive for a long time. She had a lot of life that happened in that 3 years, but that 3 years, she spent watching my stories every single day. Every single day she watched my page for 3 years. And today she signed up with the challenge pack. She bought all the things at checkout. She bought everything that she has seen me use on my Insta stories. She bought collagen. She bought Energize. She bought Shakeology. She bought everything that she had seen me use, because for 3 years I had built trust in myself, in her, and also in what I'm representing within the company. So that was person number one. Person number two was a bod member. How many of you had people who bought Morning Meltdown as an add-on and didn't get a completion pack? We have a lot of those, right? Okay, so she was one of those who bought Morning Meltdown as an add-on to BOD, didn't want to get a challenge pack. She signed up with as a coach this past week and finally bought Shakeology. And this is something we're going to touch on here in a second. About retention. That was something that you guys had struggled with in our group. And I really believe that a lot of that stems from two things. One, how we present it on social media, and two, if we're hitting that home within our challenge groups. And that's something that I've changed a lot in the last couple of months that I'm going to speak to as well. So she saw everybody in our challenge groups drinking Shakeology, and she finally decided to get started. So that's challenge pack number 2. The third one was my mom. I re-signed up my mom so I could get her to Emerald so that I could get into qualification. The next one was someone that I had built a relationship with since February of this year. She was pregnant when we started talking. She was not on board with getting healthy. She watched me since February, and then so that's how many months is that? 6 months. I can't do math. Math is hard. And so that's how many months that she spent watching me. So a lot of you are in this early season of your business where you're spending the time investing in people and you don't see that return. But with consistency and faithfulness to showing up diligently every day and leading with that heart, you're going to reap that benefit of that later on. So I won't go through all of these. Some of these were referrals. Most of them, one of them I had invited in March. She did 2 free groups. She ghosted twice, and then she finally bought a challenge pack. One of them I cold invited twice. She never responded, and then she finally responded to my 3rd cold invite. So there is faithfulness to the follow-up. There's faithfulness to being yourself and authentic on social media, and that's where the magic happens in your business. So for me, when I'm having a hard month, I know that it's because, for example, September has been hard for me. If I count back 3 to 4 months, I was in the middle of Morning Meltdown 100 launch, and I didn't send any invites during that time because I was so swamped. I didn't feel the effects of it then. I'm feeling the effects of it right now, because I don't have that follow-up base from June and July to pull from in September. So if you're feeling that struggle where some people are just telling you no and you're not getting anywhere with your conversations, it may be because 2 months ago, 3 months ago, you weren't doing the vital behaviors and we weren't inviting, and you're feeling that now. So wanted to just share that with you to kind of start the call off with, yes, we're going to talk about objections. Yes, we're hopefully going to empower you, but never do we discount someone who tells us no or tells us not right now, because all that is your future yes. It might be your yes from 3 years from now. The girl that I signed up today, I started talking to her in 2016 as a friend, as someone that I met on social media, just genuinely to have a connection. And it's been 3 years of having that connection with her, and out of the blue, she joined my free group and decided to get started again. And that felt so good. So we're going to talk a little bit about objections, and Brooke and I are going to role play. Oh, that's a good question. How many of you told your coach no before you joined? Raise your hand. How many of you told your coach no? Okay, so I'm seeing some hands raised. Some of my best coaches are people who told me no probably more than once. So that's something to keep in mind as well. All right, so we're going to navigate. Brooke, you want to be the person who is giving the first objection, and I will combat it. Oh, we have people who said, I told my coach no for 3 years. I was a ghoster.
Yes.
All right.
Hold on, let me pull up the image real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to go off of the list that you sent me.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, Rachel, I don't do well with home workouts.
Okay, so tell me a little bit. So we're doing this as if this is the conversation that's happening in your inbox right now, okay? And feel free to laugh because it's probably going to get a little humorous. Last time we did it. All right, so you said don't do well with home workouts. Okay, I totally understand. Can you tell me a little bit about what you've tried in the past that didn't work for you with home workouts?
Well, I have these DVDs from Denise Austin. This is a true story, by the way. Denise Austin. My husband bought them for me because I kept telling him I want to lose weight, and they've been sitting on my shelf. I did one time, but it didn't really do anything, so I just put it back down, and I'm not into that.
Was it something about the workout that you didn't like, or did you just feel like you didn't have the motivation?
A little bit of column A and column B.
Do you feel like you would have been more successful if you had had accountability?
Yes.
What kind of workouts do you enjoy the most? Like, what would get you excited to work out?
I want to lift some heavy weights.
So I have an idea. Would you be open to me sharing with you about a program that's only 4 days a week and does a lot of lifting, but it's only 30-minute workouts. So it'd be really great for you, someone that's super, super busy.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So there's a way to navigate from there. We would navigate and you're steering it instead of recommending just Beachbody on Demand. You're recommending a specific approach to their goals. So I'm going to recommend Lift 4. We probably already had a conversation that she's busy. They're 30 minutes. It's lifting. I'll send her a little teaser video at that point, and then I'll follow up with, okay, Brooke, what did you think of the information? Give me some feedback. Does this look like it would be a good fit for you?
Yeah, it looks like a good program. I'm still not sure that like it's going to be like hardcore enough for me to get results. Like what kind of results come from this thing?
So I'll send you a couple of pictures from the test group. But what's really neat is we offer a 30-day money-back promise. So let's say within 30 days you're not seeing the results that you desire, you have no risk and you can send it back for a full refund. Does that sound like something that would appeal to you?
Yep.
Voila. Okay, so that's objection 1. So we're going to keep on going, and Brooke and I are going to switch. So the next one is busy schedule. So how many of you have heard, I roll at this objection so hard, I swear my eyes are going to freeze in the back of my head. All right, so busy time, no time to commit. All right, I'm the nuisance, and Brooke is the coach. All right. Brooke, you just look so great. How did you lose all that baby weight? I can't believe you're doing this with 3 kids. I just have no time to commit.
Well, honestly, it takes a lot of commitment on your end. You have to decide why you want to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And so I've just kind of really honed in on what it is that I'm looking to achieve and why I want to achieve it. And then I just kind of center my day. I schedule my day out around my workouts. So I know that for me personally, working out with my kids is easier than waking up at 5 a.m. because I'm up with my kids at night. So I wake up and I snuggle with my babies. I have some quiet time, and then I go straight into my workout once they're fed and they're settled and they're ready to go. But back when I used to work full time, I was working out at 4:30 in the morning, and that was a sacrifice that I had to make. But I had such strong goals and how I wanted to feel that I decided that I was gonna just go all in and give it a shot. And that kind of helped me to see that I felt better as I was doing it. So I would like to know kind of what your schedule looks like and what makes you feel like you don't have time.
Well, I mean, my kids are in sports and, we have church and I work a full-time job. So, I already get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I don't stop moving until 10:30 at night when I just fall in the bed. So there's just no time for me to do it.
Do you think that you have maybe like 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day?
Depends on how many days a week.
So we have a couple different options. There's programs that are 4 days a week. There's also a really awesome program that came out this year. It's only 20 minutes a day, so you really would have to wake up maybe at 5:30 instead of 6. You get dressed and you go straight into your workout. It's 20 minutes, you're in and out, and you're going to get some killer results with it. Would that be something you might be interested in?
Yeah, I think I could try that, but money is so tight right now. I just don't know that we're gonna have the finances for that. Who else has heard this?
So what I kind of want to know is, because I felt like that when I got started. So when I started this journey, my husband and I were in a ton of debt. My mom had just passed away, and it was a struggle for us to pay for her funeral, let alone for me to put an investment into myself. And so I do understand that struggle, but what I did notice was when I put that time into me, I started to feel better, and that kind of paid off in the end. So maybe what we can do is look at your budget and see if there's anything in your budget right now that maybe you're spending some extra money on. Maybe if you go to Starbucks every once in a while, or maybe if you like to, shop the clearance racks at Target, maybe we can look into something like that and see if maybe over the next month or so we can save you some money and save that money up for a challenge pack.
Yeah, I guess that sounds good. So remind me how much the challenge pack is, and I don't really know how to meal plan. So will you help me with that?
Yeah, for sure. So our challenge packs are a one-time cost. It starts at about $160, and I actually have a promo code that I'd love to give you for $10 off, just as a thank you and as a little bonus, since I know that money's a struggle for you. So in that challenge pack, you're going to get a full year's access to all of our workouts. You're going to get 30 days of my favorite superfood shake that helps me with having that quick, easy, nutritious meal every day. And you're also going to get a cool little shaker cup, and you get access to all of the meal plans, all of the nutrition guides, and then I'll help you set up your meal plan one-on-one if those are a little overwhelming for you, because I know it's hard to start that journey one-on-one or by yourself. So I'd love to kind of help you get that set up with some of the meal plans that I've used in the past, and get you set up with my accountability group that you'll have access to for the rest of, you know, your 1-year membership. And I think you can do this. I think that I sense hesitation coming from you, but I can see how eager you are, and I definitely know that that's a hard feeling to overcome. But if you just give this a shot, you have that 30-day money back guarantee, and you're gonna rock it, girl.
I think what she just did is really important. She related to what I was feeling emotionally, because most of the time when you get a time objection, you get a cost objection. It's due to a fear. It's not, I mean, there are going to be those people that point blank can't. There was a comment in the post today that said, like, I can't have an extra expense or we won't be able to turn the lights on. Like, so there are people like that, but the majority of the people that are giving us these objections, they probably wouldn't even have reached out if they didn't know that they had some kind of wiggle room in their budget. If they had no wiggle room at all, they probably wouldn't have contacted you or even entertained the conversation. So what she just did is really powerful in helping that person feel that their fears are valid, but that I'm inspired now by Brooke because she's overcome that. And she's proven to me that it's possible. So if Brooke can do it, I can do it. So nice done. Okay, I'm all in. How do I sign up? So, all right, moving on. Okay, so we'll probably end up touching on that one again as well. So I want to touch a little bit on the one that says not right now. So this is a delicate one that we got a lot in our chat thread, and it's usually followed directly from an invite. You send an invite, and their immediate response is not right now, but thanks for thinking of me. Or thanks for sending me a message, but I'm not interested. Or like, so that's it's they don't even give you an opportunity to talk. And so for people like that, I think every coach is different, and you have to figure out what works for you. For me, I'm not going to push somebody, because if they're going to block me right from the second, they're not ready. What I am going to do is show that I'm valuable to them. So what I will do is I will send them something of value. Like, you know what? Thank you so much for reaching back out to me. I appreciate you responding. You know, I just wanted to send this your way because everybody's always looking for new, awesome, delicious, healthy recipes. This is one I'm loving right now. I just thought you might like it. So hope you have an awesome week. So you're providing value. You're leaving them with a really happy thought about you. You've literally not asked anything of them, and you've given them something of value in exchange. And so the next time that you build that relationship and you come back and you're not inviting, you're not following up, you're just building that relationship, they're going to already have that good, happy thought about you in their head. So that's a tactic that, not a tactic, I hate that word. That's something that I use that has really helped me build authentic relationships, because I don't want them to feel like I'm pushing them. So keep that in the back of your mind. You can create a freebie if you want to through Canva. I haven't even done that yet, but that's a great option. So
let me touch on that one real quick, because something else that I do, so I love the free option. I give that out to a lot of people that are a hard no. That's something I'll for sure do. When I get somebody that's saying like, no thanks, but no thanks, I always just ask them like, okay, thanks for getting back to me. I appreciate your feedback. You know, are you already on a fitness journey? How's it going? And just kind of get that conversation going. And I don't typically like just go straight into the like, well, you should do what I do. But I'm like, oh, cool, you do CrossFit. I used to do CrossFit. Or, oh, cool, you know, you eat healthy with keto or whatever. Like, I wish you the best of luck. I'd love to cheer you on. Because I think people need to see that we're not just here to sell them a product. Like, I want you to just be healthy. I'm not inviting you because I want to make money off of you. I'm inviting you because I want you to feel as good as I feel. And if what you're doing is making you feel that good, then I want to cheer you on for that. So keep that in mind as well. If people are saying no, maybe they do already have something that's working for them, and that's great. But when you show them that you're genuine and you're going to just say, cool, let me cheer you on, that'll also help them when they don't get results from keto down the road. They'll be like, oh, that one girl that like supported me through my no, they'll come back to you.
Preach. Okay, so that reminds me. So I have a coach. I don't think she's on this call. I can't see everybody, but I have a coach. I'm not going to talk about her. She tells a story. But I have a coach who I invited, or we started having conversations. She asked me a question. She asked me if I was nursing while I was losing weight. And I said, yes. We talked a little bit. And I asked her if she was on her own health and fitness journey. And she said, yes. She was doing It Works shakes. And we all know what crap those are. And so I, in a loving way, was like, I said, girl, I know that you're a nursing mama, so you really want to monitor what you're putting in your body. Just take a look at the label, turn it around. Did you know that the third ingredient is high fructose corn syrup in those shakes? And so I planted that seed, and I didn't judge her, and she was set in her ways. 3 months later, she joined my free group and became one of my rock star coaches. So she had to go through her phase of figuring out what didn't work for her body. I did so in a non-judgmental way, continue to love on her, be supported, because I genuinely vibed with her and wanted to be her friend. Notice that there's a theme there. Your heart has to be in the right place, but at the same time, you can't use your heart has to be in the right place and not taking action. I see too often my coaches will be like, I don't want to message them. I want to build relationships. I want you to build relationships, but if you got to build 10 times the number of relationships to make you feel confident about inviting, then you need to talk to 10 times more people. And build 10 times more relationships. So you can't use that as a cop-out of inviting. Little side chat. Okay, so I don't have the money. Let's go through that one. Brooke, you be the broke person. We kind of touched on it a little bit. Let's go for it again, because I feel like this is an important one.
You know, Rachel, this Lift 4 package that you're talking about, it really sounds good, but I was just talking to my husband, and I really don't think that it's in the budget for us right now.
I really appreciate your honesty. I remember feeling a lot of what you feel right now, because when I first started, my mom bought my challenge pack because we couldn't afford to put it on a credit card. So I get you. It is a tough spot to be in. Can you tell me, did you have a budget in mind that you were looking to stick around?
Well, I mean, I guess I can probably do like, I don't know, maybe like $30 or $40. I can probably do that.
Okay. So I'm going to be fully transparent. We have several different options available. I want to set you up for the best success that I can possibly do. As your coach, I've been through what you're experiencing right now, and I want to give you all the tools to succeed. So the reason that I made the recommendation of the challenge pack is because you've expressed to me that you don't understand nutrition and you really need a clear guide on what to eat. You've talked about how you need workouts that you can do on a busy schedule, and that you really need a support system. So that's why I recommended the package that we talked about. I do have a second option, but it's not going to include the whole piece of the puzzle. Can I ask, do you spend any money? Well, let me think about this. Hold on. Are you afraid of spending the money because you're afraid that you're not going to see this commitment through?
Yeah, I think I have a history of failure. Like, I usually don't stick with things that I say I'm going to do. So that's kind of why my husband doesn't support this.
I understand. So what was it in the past that you felt maybe influenced you not sticking with it? What were the sticking points that made you struggle?
Honestly, it's easier to just not do the workouts. It's easy to just stay home. I'm tired. I have a lot going on. I'm busy, so I don't have a lot of time to do anything. So I'd rather just not do it.
So I think from my standpoint, having a coach to hold you accountable to your goals is going to be a life-changing experience for you. But what I really want is for you to see some quick results. I want you to really get your foot in the door and seeing some awesome results within the first week or two. And I'm going to tell you the track record of my clients who choose a different option that may be lower cost. They don't feel like that investment is worth enough sacrifice for them to actually put their money where their mouth is. And so I do feel that the package that I recommended for you is going to give you some awesome results. How would you feel if you were 10 pounds lighter within the next 30 days?
I would feel great.
So I know that this investment is a big chunk, but I would love it if you give the opportunity to trust me to support and guide you, and know that you do have the backup option of a 30-day money back promise. Would you be willing to trust me with your health and let me hold you accountable to your goals?
I think I might be able to save up a little bit and come back to you in a couple weeks.
No problem at all. So what I'll do is I'm going to make a note to follow up with you before the sale ends, so you can expect to hear from me, fill in the blank. Thanks so much for talking with me, Brooke. Oh, by the way, here's my favorite recipe. Just thought you might enjoy it. So you're giving them a time frame, an expectation that you will be following up. They're going to hear from you again. And so you're setting that tone so that when you follow up, you don't feel weird, they don't feel weird, they expect it. And then you're also giving some free value. She wasn't ready. I did everything I could. She wasn't ready. And so I will put her on my follow-up list. I'll continue to love on her, give her some free value, and onwards and forwards.
Did you guys also notice with Rachel, she reiterated my story back to me. So she listened to what I had to say. She paid attention. She probably took notes somewhere, like, I don't know if I use Google Streaks. Like, I take all of my notes in Google Streaks. I get to know what the goals are, why they want to hit them, what they've struggled with in the past, current things they're struggling with right now. So then I can go back into that conversation when they're giving those objections, and I could say, look, I understand that this is an investment, but you said that you really struggle with digestive problems within your gut health. I really do think Shakeology is going to be a great option for you, because my friend Abby, who's a coach on my team, also struggled with that. And she has completely like renovated her gut system because of it. So you can go into stories from that point when you know that person's story. So make sure you guys have a way of tracking the conversations, and not just where you have to like go scroll through the messages, but like have notes somewhere within that person's. I don't know, if you use paper and pen, it's probably a little bit more difficult, but like something like Google Streak or an Excel document or something like that, that will help you know that person's story a little bit more, will help you touch back on it, because that'll help them see that you listened.
Yes, totally agree. And I feel like there are two things that really set exceptional coaches apart from really great coaches is one, social media presence, the way that you tell your story. We talk about that over and over, but that is so powerful in how people trust you. And two, the way that you navigate those conversations, it is extremely important, so that we want to help you feel empowered to do so with confidence. And the biggest thing is just to listen, keeping your response. And my guess is that both Brooke and I both use voice memos. So when I'm responding to someone, it's with my voice. I don't use anything copy paste. I'm like, girl, I get you. There's chaos in the background. They can hear it's me. And they just automatically feel like they have that attention from me, that when they do sign up, that they're going to get that even more so as a customer on my team. Okay, so there was a screenshot in here that I put down. Look at Caitlin Evans' screenshot. So she had one in here. Let me see if I can find it. Any specific ones we have not covered that you want covered, make sure to put it in the comments. Okay, so here I found it. She says, so this is a conversation that she had with someone, and she feels very close to them, so she felt like she could be very forthright. I was looking, her prospect, she said, I was looking through old pictures yesterday, and I do not want to look like that again, so I have to do something. I just know until I actually start, there's no point in spending money on pre-workout or programs or anything, because it'll be wasted. So Brooke, do we want to navigate this one? Do you want to be coach or customer?
I'm reading through it again.
Well, and I will say, you guys go in there and look at this conversation, because she did a really great job she actually weaved it back around to coaching. And she said, she basically turned it back and said, how do you plan to start if you're not actively going to take steps towards making change? And then there was another one where she weaved coaching back into it. So sometimes with finances, I will come to them and say, hey, I understand that finances are an issue. Do you know of 3 people that would want to do this with you? And I can help you earn back your package with a referral bonus. And so sometimes you can get somebody started as a new coach. They can sign up 3 people, and they have paid for their package, and that's another option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
with this one with Kaylin, I would say so. I mean, because I know she's asking, like, she knew this person, so she was able to say, like, if she's not actively taking steps, like, well, how are you going to get results? So if you're comfortable with the person, obviously you can say that. But I would honestly say the same thing to somebody I didn't know. I would say, like, is there some other plan that you're looking at that doesn't cost money that you like that you see yourself getting results with? You know, like you're reaching out to me. I wouldn't word it in that sense, but I would say, like, you know, you've reached out to me, you've seen my story, you've seen me get results, you've seen me share my clients' results and the coaches within my team. I promise you, if you commit to this with me and you let me show you the way, I will help you get results if you're ready to go all in. But that's a decision that you have to make, that you have to decide that you're worthy enough. You have to decide that you want this bad enough. And from there, when you make that decision, I'm going to be by your side every step of the way once you do.
And so there's also a consistent theme in this thread that is talking about people who say, I don't have the money, and 2 weeks later they've joined a gym. I've had that happen more times than I can count. I would challenge you to rewrite the mindset you have around that, because your sole job is to be the strength and consistency that never wavers, that you are always there, that no matter what this other person does, what fad they chase, what rabbit they chase, you are still there every single day on your social media. And so you want to continue to follow up with them. I actually just spoke with someone that was on my follow-up list, and she's crushing a fitness routine. She's loving the gym right now, and I got to be her cheerleader from afar. And you know what? She may not sign up with me, but she might have a cousin who needs to get healthy and can't stay in the gym because she's 300 pounds. And she's going to send her cousin to me because I loved on her. I would cheer it up for her genuinely. And I just became a positive light in her life. So you just have to rewrite that, oh, yeah, she joined a gym. It's just a right now season. You don't know what that could look like for your relationship down the road, and just genuinely continuing to connect with that.
And I also want you guys to, this is like the helper side in me. You inspired somebody to go to the gym and better their health. It doesn't matter how they do it. Beachbody is an awesome tool, and I 100% believe in our programs and our products. But CrossFit's awesome. The gym can be an awesome thing.
Yep.
If it's working for somebody, that's totally okay. Like, support the heck out of that, because that's a huge step for a lot of people. And I know, like, going to the gym is not easy. We all, like, that's why we don't go to the gym, because it's hard to wake up and drive to the gym and go work out and then come home and then shower and all that. We've already been done in like halfway through our day when that's done. But if that's what that person likes to do, we have to support that as well. And the fact that your posts and your journey has inspired them to do that is a huge win. And I want you guys to keep note of that, because that's something that you're doing. When you think your posts aren't speaking to people, that's what your posts are doing. It's not always going to be a product sale. It's going to be somebody's life that's changed in a different way. And I think that's just as great.
I want to preach on it. We got some amens in the chats. Okay, so here's one. How many of you have had a conversation with somebody and that maybe you sent them a share cart and they were ready, they were excited, they were going to purchase, everything was going to be awesome. This is your last challenge pack to hit Success Club, and you're going to lock it in for the month. And then they ghosted, and they were nowhere to be found. They died on social media, and you could never get in contact with them again. They didn't even read your message. They're ignoring you that bad. Anybody ever experienced that? Okay. Number one to note, you're not alone. Number two to note is that they got cold feet because they were afraid that they were going to fail again. Now, how many of you, your knee-jerk reaction is now to never talk to them again and not follow up, where you're afraid of being pushy and you're afraid of being salesy, right? Okay, the money is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up is the phrase. This is where, if you looked at my Success Club list that I had created, but then I felt weird sharing it with you guys, if you had looked at it, you would see almost every person on that list was a follow-up to an ignore, to a ghost, someone who fell off the planet for months on end. And they were the people who said yes down the road. Does that mean I harass them? No. Does that mean every single month I follow up with them? just depends on how I'm feeling. Will preach to you that free groups are where your follow-ups blossom. When you have an opportunity to extend to somebody something for free and you have invited them, they got cold feet, you can voice memo them and say, hey girl, I know that things got crazy and life got so busy. Maybe you got scared. I just wanted to tell you that you could have a free taste of what it is we do. And that way, if you're maybe not quite ready to commit, you can try it for a week, make your decision, and we can go from there. Would you want to be added to my free group? Running a free group is an amazing opportunity. In fact, 4 of the challenge packs that I've sold this month were all from my free group. There were follow-ups and invites from the past 2 years that went in my free group and then funneled into becoming a client. So it's a really great opportunity for you to build relationship and trust, not be pushy, not feel weird, and just know that they wanted. I have been so bold as to say to people, it just depends on our conversation. If they've opened up and they have like poured their heart and said how miserable they are and how they see my posts and they leave them crying and they've shared their heart with me, I'll follow up with them and say, hey, I know that it's so easy to get afraid of committing to a health and fitness journey, but I believe in you and I want you to know that I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. And if the timing isn't right, I don't want you to feel weird about telling me no. I just want to make sure that I've done my due diligence and let you know that I'm thinking of you. And then it's a pressure-free way of following up as well. So here's another scenario. You've had a conversation, somebody says yes, you've gone over the price, they say yes, and you need to send them a share cart and they ghost before the share cart. Has anybody had that happen? So one thing that works really well for me is I will send a message that says, hey girl, I'm working on your meal plan that I'm going to be sending you over in an email. I just wanted to make sure that I had everything set in stone. All I need is your shake flavor so that I can send over your enrollment. I've been working hard on making sure that I have everything ready for you behind the scenes. Do you have any more questions for me? So you're automatically going to be giving them something amazing that they have to purchase in order to receive. You're thinking of them. It's a pain-free, weird-free way of following up. So that's one thing. There was one over here I wanted to talk about too. Let's do the I don't eat veggies. Please, can we do that one? You be the
veggie hater. I am the veggie hater, actually. So
perfect. Okay,
please sell me on this. So Rachel, I think that a lot of what we've been talking about is good, but I just struggle so much with my vegetables because they're disgusting. Like, I don't like any type of vegetables. I can add spinach to a couple things, but I'm just not a big fan. So
I can totally relate to you because a couple of years ago, the only vegetable that I would eat is steamed broccoli, and that's only if it was smothered in cheese. So there are a lot of different chips that I have learned over the last couple of years that I will get to teach you if you become my client. What are the kind of vegetables that you've tried that you didn't like?
All of them.
I literally got this conversation before. So one of the biggest thing to know about vegetables is that they're a really great tool for your weight loss. And here is why. They have an amazing source of fiber, so that's going to keep your digestion in check. They're really low calories, so you can eat high volumes of them and still have really great weight loss days. So while I know they can be super intimidating to start eating, I'd love to teach you how I prepare my vegetables in a way that even my toddler will mostly eat sometimes. I probably wouldn't include that actually because it's way too inconsistent to be reliable. But that my husband even likes. Would you be willing? Can I send you a sample recipe and let you look over it?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, so from there, I would send my favorite sample. I would probably send the animal style cauliflower that Alana posted about and tell her to try that. And I say, you know, what's really awesome about the package that I have in mind for you is I'm going to be giving you an amazing resource in recipes, in an entire library of a cookbook, and I'm going to help you learn to prepare them in a way that feels and tastes good to you. If you knew that it would help you reach your weight loss goals, would you be willing to give it a try?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You guys, I truly am a vegetable hater, and the vegetable recipes like on demand and within the To Be Mindset program and Ultimate Portion Fix, like there are some amazing recipes that truly have helped me see that vegetables are not bad. Like they're good. Like the sloppy joes that you just put bell peppers in, that like that counts as a vegetable. That's my kind of vegetable. You don't even taste them. So
Yes.
side note. But anyways, yes.
So another one that we got, which ones are you guys wanting us to cover that we haven't covered? Because we still have quite a few on here, and I want to make sure that we're covering the ones that are people on the call. Yeah. So one of the ones that we got was, I'm not good at sticking with things. I want to approach this from Morning Meltdown. Brooke, I have them. Oh wait, I wanted to. Can you be the person who can't stick with anything?
So Rachel, I've had so many different things that I've tried in the past, and I never seem to get results. I always fall off the wagon. So I'm just not sure that I want to spend the money on this, because I feel like I'm just going to keep wasting my money on something different.
You know, Brooke, I really appreciate you sharing that with me, because I remember what it feels like to feel like kind of like you're a chronic failure, a chronic quitter. And that just doesn't make you want to start anything, because you're so afraid of failing yourself again. So I have a question for you. Have you seen me on my Insta stories marking off my boxes on my 100-day calendar?
Yes.
So what have you thought when you've seen that calendar as it started to fill up over the course of the weeks? What have you thought watching that process?
I could never do that.
You're gonna be hard. Okay, wait, hold on, regrouping.
You were expecting me to say something easy.
I was expecting something easy. Okay, well, this is good though. This is what happens. People don't let you off the hook. Okay, so I'm gonna say, I could see how it could be intimidating. 100 days is a pretty long program, but there are a lot of women in my group who had a lot of self-doubt when they started this journey, because their track record was 21 days. They'd never finished anything past 21 days. And we're now at day 56. And I've gotten 3 messages in the last 2 days alone of women who have felt so encouraged that they have stuck with something for so long. Because of that visual of the calendar, they feel like they are unstoppable and they don't want to miss a day because it's sitting there staring in their face. Do you feel like that could be a tool that would be useful to you?
Yeah.
So with our group, so notice Brooke stopped the conversation. How many of you have one-word answers and it like halts the conversation?
I'm glad that you noticed I was doing that, because that's what I was doing.
She literally said, yeah. And that's where you as the coach have to navigate that and pull her back in, because she's already starting to tune me out. She's already starting to shut down, and all the doubts are starting to get in her head. And okay, so I would probably say, Brooke, how have you ever had a support system of other women who are kind of in an accountability pod working together for a fitness goal?
No.
So this, for me, in my experience, has been really powerful. That when I had gotten healthy, quote unquote healthy, many years ago, when I was trying to get small for my wedding, it was a passing thing. It was something that I didn't stick with. And I had the tools back then, but the thing that was different this time was accountability and support. I knew that when I checked in with my group, I saw all these people getting their sweat on, getting healthy, and it helped me feel like I wasn't alone. Do you sometimes feel like you're alone? And do you have a support system at home? Is your husband on board with getting healthy?
He works out, but he does workouts that I don't like to do.
So this would give you an opportunity to do something with a group of girlfriends that could potentially keep you accountable to your goals. Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Yeah.
So she's going to continue to be hard. So you're still going to have to pull, and at this point I would probably ask her, Brooke, I'm not going to force you into anything. I'm not here to sell you something. I'm just here to provide to you the life change that I've seen. I sense some hesitation. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you feel like you have questions about, or is the timing just not right?
Yeah, I think that's key when what you just did there, because if people are giving you a yes or no response back and forth, you want to start asking questions that avoid a yes or no answer. So you have to ask them something that they have to say more than yes or no about. So when she's asking is there any questions you have, or is things not, I guess that would be a yes or no. But there's different questions you can ask that person that will help them to elicit a response outside of yes or no that's going to keep the conversation going, or they're going to ignore you and you can, I don't want to be rude, but stop wasting your time. I get that a lot where people are like, yeah, no, yeah, no. And then, or you say like, you're following up, you're like, hey, I just wanted to check in with you. Are you doing okay? They're like, yep. I'm like, okay. Like I genuinely was trying to figure out if you're okay. Those are the people that like, they're not ready in their heart. They don't want to be rude because they want to make sure that they're still responding to you, but they might not be ready. And so you just continue to be there for them and ask questions like Rachel was. And then when they do eventually stop messaging you back, you just continue to be their friend down the road and give it some time. And those people come around as well. And like Rachel said earlier, you have to be consistent in your social media. You have to be consistent in your own journey, in sharing the journey of people that you're helping, in your team's journey, like all of those things that you guys see on social media that we talk about. You also want to continue doing, because if you're missing a couple days of posting, you're missing a couple, like you don't ever share your clients' results or anybody else's results. It's only yours. People aren't going to see that you're helping people. People aren't going to see that they can do this with you. They're going to look at you and put you on a pedestal and say, well, Rachel shows up every day because she's just motivated and I'm not. So people are going to start to shut down with those yes or no answers, and you have to be able to take what objections you're facing. In all of these objections, every single one of these are a post. So you have somebody that's like, I can't afford it, or you have somebody that's like, I don't have time, or I've tried this in the past and I've quit. Whatever it might be, those are all post ideas. So every time I get a no from somebody, I write down, again, I take note of whatever that person's no was. I always try to have some type of reason. And then I have post ideas for the next time I'm advertising for a challenge group. I could talk about how I couldn't afford it. I could talk about how I was going through the loss of my mom when I started my journey. I could talk about my husband being deployed and how busy I was and all of those things, because they fit into my story. I've been through those, just like I'm sure a lot of you guys have. And if you haven't, you'll probably get there. You have to take those no's and not take them don't take them as like an insult to yourself, but take them as a challenge to prove to people through your story, maybe not boldly in the message if that's not your thing, but in a post, they'll probably see that too. And the more that they continue to see that, the more they're going to resonate with it. And like Rachel said, they'll come to you 6 months, a year down the road, and you're still going to be there showing up, hopefully. And that's when they're going to want to join you. Almost all of my coaches on the call tonight took more than 6 months to join me. So
so I want to talk a little bit about retention, because that was one thing that was on there. So where your customers sign up with a challenge pack and then they don't keep reordering anything. This is normal. This is a part of business. But there are some things that you can do to improve your chances of them wanting to reorder. Number one, you need to be doing it yourself and sharing that you're doing it yourself. You can't expect people to reorder Shakeology if they don't know that you're drinking Shakeology every single day. They need to see it on your Insta stories. They need to see it on your profile. They need to know that that is a part of your routine. No ifs, ands, or buts, but not just this is why. Talking about how it helps you, getting specific about what it's done for your body, so that you're talking about that on your story, you're talking about that on social media. So that's part one. So that when they are looking at Shakeology, they're like, well, I want results like Rachel has. She's lost over 90 pounds. I want that. And she's telling me that I need to work out and drink my shake. So dang, you better sign me up as a discount coach, because I'm going to be on this shake and I'm going to save some money. They've seen me show up with that. They've seen me. That person that today that bought Shakeology and then all this other stuff, I didn't put that in her share cart. She went and ordered all of it herself in her checkout, because I was showing and talking about collagen on my stories. I was showing and talking about Energize because I can't live without it. I was showing and talking about Shakeology because it's changed my health. You have to be living, breathing proof of what you're wanting them to reorder. The second thing is in your challenge groups, this is your opportunity to show that it's valuable and educate behind the scenes. Now, I am not naturally good at this. And Brooke and I have both started using a service for our challenge groups, which felt really awful at first because I felt like I was outsourcing something that I really love to do. But we actually pay for a service, and we're happy to share it with our group. But it allows us, it gives us the daily posts, it gives us all that stuff, and within that content, it is built in. She talks about Shakeology once a week. She educates on Shakeology once a week. She educates on Energize within our challenge groups. And so our challengers are seeing all these people talk about Shakeology because in the post it says, well, what is the benefit that you've seen from Shakeology? So all the people that are seeing a change, they're sharing, and they start to think, well, maybe I shouldn't cancel my auto ship. Maybe I need to be drinking that. So just really use your challenge groups as an opportunity to educate and to explain to them that it's more than just a protein shake. And that starts with you actually understanding what Shakeology is and researching it yourself. So just wanted to hit on, that's really the only two things that I have as far as retention goes. Do you have anything else you want to add to that, Brooke?
No, I think that's good. I think just letting your letting your challengers, letting all of the people around you see what you're doing and the results that you're getting from it is going to be key.
Yeah. I think that this is, so I think we'll wrap up. So this is a delicate balance, you guys. It's a delicate art, a dance, if you will, of knowing how far to take a conversation and then when to put the brakes on it and to just step back and be a friend. And I will encourage you that even if you do feel like you need to step back and take your foot on the brakes a little bit with a potential client, that doesn't mean you need to put the brakes on your goals. So just because that person might not be ready right now doesn't mean that the other 5 people who've been watching your stories that you're too chicken to talk to might be ready to make a change, and they need you to take that first step forward. And I can, the number of coaches, I have a coach on my team who isn't actively coaching anymore, but she is approaching her 3-year anniversary with my team. And you know how many times she ghosted me after a share cart? 4 times. And now she's been a discount coach on my team for 3 years. When she was ready, she was ready. And you have to be that consistent driving force, living proof in your business that you are happier, healthier, more fulfilled as a coach and sharing that relentlessly. So I really think, unless we have anything else we wanted to go over, power in the follow-ups, you keep choosing positively, and I would really encourage you to emotionally detach from your conversations. You go into inviting and you say, I'm a leader. I'm a diamond coach. I lead an elite team, and I want to change the world. My intentions are pure. I know where my heart is, and I'm going to change somebody's life today. And you go into inviting with that mindset that no matter who messages you or what they say, you know that your job is just to open the door. And they get to choose whether they walk through that door and let their life be changed with you or not. But you have to detach from the outcome emotionally. Your job is just to present the opportunity for them to change. So emotionally detach and just go out there and share out of an outpouring of what has happened and changed in your own life. And it will feel more authentic. It will be easier. Inviting isn't hard for me anymore. Do I like to do it every day? No. But do I do it anyway because I have to? Yeah. But it has become something that I know where my heart is. And I'm pretty sure if you're on this call, you know where your heart is too. So lead with that and just be relentless in your follow-ups, y'all. You've got to be relentless in your follow-ups because that is where your future yeses are going to come from. So it's been a long call. Y'all are awesome. Anything else you want to cover? Dance party. Yes. Oh, that's smart. Do a dance party. Okay. I'll have the call recorded, posted in our groups later or tomorrow morning. Next week, our call is an hour earlier, so just make note on your calendar. I can't remember the topic. We'll announce that later in the week ahead, and we'll see you 1 hour earlier next week. Thanks, y'all, for hopping on. Bye.